Hello and welcome to week 3. So I hope that you have already found a rhythm for you to work during the summer, considering that I know we're all a little more busy during the summer trying to get as much done as we can. And with an online course, it does, of course, require you to be a lot more independent than you would be if you were in a face-to-face class. But hopefully you have found some kind of routine that works for you. I know that I personally work better in the morning, and so I just always make sure that once I've gotten up and am ready to get started, I just go ahead and knock out my work for the day because by the end of the day, I'm completely exhausted. But I know a lot of you are the reverse, and so you are night owls, and so you get your work done then. The only thing that I would encourage you with is just make sure that you get into some kind of rhythm so that you keep up with the pace of the course. So this week, we're going to start looking at the major players in early childhood education because now we've looked back at who has kind of framed where we are now. And so now we need to look at who are the people who are really involved. And that's going to be the children, the teachers, and the parents. So I've put all three of these together because in all honesty, you can't have one without the other if you want to be successful in teaching children. So what you're going to find as you go into this week's module is that you have 3 chapters that you're going to be looking at. This is not always going to happen. During a regular semester, I normally am able to keep with 1 chapter a week, but obviously during the summer, when we only have 10 weeks to get through everything, some things have to be combined together, and I felt like this was a really good one. None of these chapters are heavy. None of them are extremely long. So hopefully you're not going to find that you felt like you spent your whole week reading. But it is important to make sure that we're looking at each one of these populations, one as an individual to see what should we know about children, what should we know about teachers, what should we know about parents, but also how do they all work together. So as you go through, you're going to find chapters 3, 5, and 8 are the ones that you're going to be looking at this week. And so I have attached the PowerPoints that go with each one of those. So once you've read the chapter, or either while you're reading the chapter, use those PowerPoints to really kind of pull out some of that important information. And so your discussion board for this week is going to be a fun one. It does not require any research and it should be an easy one for you, but I think it's so important that we make sure that we reflect back on some of the teachers that we have had. So the discussion board that you're doing for this week is going to be one entitled Favorite Teacher. And so what I want you to do is I want you to think back throughout your entire school experience. It can go all the way back to preschool. It can go all the way up through college. But I guarantee that all of us were influenced by at least one teacher as we've been throughout our schooling who made such an impact on us that we wanted to be just like them. So for me, my teacher, my favorite teacher was my 3rd grade teacher, who I was fortunate enough to have as also my 6th grade teacher. And the reason that I really loved this teacher was because of the fact that she made learning fun. She used to tell all of us that she was a witch, which none of us believed. But the reason that she said that was because she was double jointed in all 10 of her fingers. And she always had the reddest fingernails. But it kind of endeared her to us because she was trying to do something that was going to make us interested in learning. And so, as I said, I was really fortunate that I got to have her again in 6th grade because she moved to 6th grade when my class was going in there. So the one thing that I will tell you as you start reflecting on this is tell the teachers who have had an impact on you how important they have been to you. This same teacher, as I was going through my teacher preparation, I just really felt like I needed to write her a note to tell her that I was going to become a teacher. I wanted to be just like her. And I'm not kidding when I tell you that the next day I opened up the newspaper and I saw her obituary. And it broke my heart that I never had the chance to tell her how much of an impact she had on my life. So I tell students that so that you don't have the same regret that I did. So send the email, stop by the school, send a note, make a phone call, send a text. You will never know how much that means to a teacher. It's not going to be a surprise to you that teachers are completely underappreciated. And so many times teachers are inundated with all of the negative, and it's hard to remember why they went into the field of education. And so if we can be the one that reminds them that what they're doing matters, sometimes you will never know how much that means to them. So that's my charge to you for this week as you're doing this discussion board, is try and contact at least one of those teachers that has had a really big impact on your life, and let them know. So in the chapter that talks about teachers, you're going to find what are characteristics of high quality teachers. And I'm sure that you're also going to see things that teachers who weren't your favorite did not do, and that's the reason that they're not your favorite. And sometimes we learn a lot from that as well. As we're looking at parents, you're going to find that one of the most important things we can do is value not only what each family looks like, because as we know, families are so diverse now, but also what they can bring to the table. And so really pay attention in that chapter about how to make sure that you have a great relationship with families. And then most importantly, we're going to be looking at the children. And so we all know that the children that we're going to teach are all going to be different. They're going to be coming to us from different backgrounds. And so we need to make sure that we're viewing each child as an individual, and valuable, that your class would not be the same if each child wasn't in there. And for some children, the only kind of value statement they're going to get about their worth may come from you. And so the next assignment that you're going to work on is going to be something called an inclusion project. So when you click on inclusion project, it's going to take you to the page that I created in the assignments, that gives you everything that you need for the inclusion project. So this assignment was actually created out of VCU as a part of a grant to find out how well informed are early childhood teachers about inclusion. And so this assignment has several different parts, but I've given you everything that you need as well as a template. So basically what you're going to be doing is you're going to be viewing 2 videos. Neither one of them is extremely long. And you're also going to be reading an article. And again, the article is not very long either. And you're going to be answering some questions and then putting it all together. So if you go through the different steps, the entire packet is attached here. So my first advice to you is to open this up and just kind of go through it so you can see what's in there, what you're going to be doing. But then I've broken down the assignment for you. So the first video that you're going to watch, it's going to be linked right here, and it concerns the letter of the law. And so you're going to find that the first video is the letter of the law and the second video is the spirit of the law. And you're going to see that they are 2 completely different, there's 2 tones that kind of delineate between one and the other. The letter of the law is really going to be, what does the law say? What are teachers required to do? And so this is a really important piece, especially if you're not familiar with IDEA and with inclusion. So there are some questions that you're going to answer relating to the letter of the law video. And I've even made a note here. Make sure that you pay special attention to 2B, question 2B. It's the only question that has a right or wrong answer. All of the rest of them are your opinion. Of course, you have to defend your opinion. But 2B is the only one that has a right or wrong answer. When you click on the video, there's going to be a place at the bottom of the box that says view transcript. You're going to want to do that to get the answer to 2B, because when they talk about it in the video, they go so fast that it's hard to get it all. But if you view the transcript for it, then you will be able to see it in writing. and get your answer that way. So you're going to watch the first video and answer 4 questions. Then you're going to watch the second video that's called The Spirit of the Law. And there's going to be 2 questions that you answer for that. And once you've watched the 2 videos, you're going to have a part C where you're going to say which one did you think was more important. It is totally fine to say that you think both videos were important, but tell me why. So when you are doing part C, it should be a good paragraph, which is at least 5 sentences. And please don't just say, well, I think the spirit of the law is more important. I'm not going to give you credit for that because you didn't tell me why. This is really kind of the reflection and the analysis piece. Once you're done with the videos, then you're going to read an article. It's entitled People First. It's a part of that packet, but I also attached it here so that you can just go directly to it. And then there's going to be 6 questions that you're going to answer for that. And I've even made a note, make sure for the last one that you come up with your own. Do not use the ones that are from the article. And so when you click on the template, you're going to see that I've kind of put it all together for you so that you've made sure that you haven't missed anything. So here are the 4 questions that go with the first video. Here's the 2 questions that go with the second video. Here's the paragraph where you tell me which one do you think is more important. And then here are the 6 questions that have to do with the article. So all you have to do is type directly into it and save it, and then you're going to submit it. So that's the assignment that you're going to be working on that goes along with this week. So the only other thing that's going to happen this week is you're going to be submitting your Theorist PowerPoint assignment. And so since Canvas is kind of new for a lot of us, I'm actually going to show you what your screen is going to look like. So I'm going to go into your view, what you're able to see. When you click on Assignments, you're going to see the Theorist PowerPoint, which tells you that it's due this coming Sunday. But when you click on the title of it, you will see that at the very top it says Submit Assignment. And so all you have to do is click that button, and then it's going to go down here where it lets you choose a file to upload. And when you've uploaded your file, you just click Submit Assignment. So it really is that simple, and it goes directly into the gradebook so I can see when it's ready to be graded. But since this was our first assignment that was going to be submitted through Canvas, I just wanted to make sure that you knew what it was going to look like. So I think that takes care of week 3. So enjoy learning about the children, the teachers, and the families. And I look forward to reading your discussion board post about your favorite teacher. Have a great week, and I will see you in week 4.